Hello, hello, friend. I'm back. Remember, this is the book we're working out of. Here's our part two to our Bear Nation that we're doing Tunisian. Tunisian crochet. That's the next level to your crochet is Tunisian. And this is the book we're going to be working out of. And I'm going to show you what we're going to be making a tea towel. So this is what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be making a tea towel on page 94. So what I'm going to be showing you is how to read the instructions. So that's the basic for this. I'm going to be showing you how to read instructions and the follow along instruction how to make a pattern to make a crochet Tunisian. And this is the book we're going to be using. I highly recommend, like I said, getting books or written patterns because, like I say, it's I find it very easy to follow along, especially if you don't have your phone or internet on. And I like doing books, as you can see, I can write in it. So I'm going to try to link this down so you can see it better, the instructions on here. But it's really simple. It's only 2 stitches, very simple. And I'm going to be using green yarn just so you can get the basis on how it's done. Just to make this portable, I always like to copy the instructions. So that's what I've done. I actually copy the instructions. And like I said, it's a very simple instructions, only 2 stitches, 2 rows that you're doing over and over again. So I copy it so that way I can write it on here. Okay, so it says, the instruction first says, we're not changing the colors. This pattern actually is telling you to change colors. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to, I already got the yarn, the color's going to change for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And when it's finished, this is what it's going to actually look like. I did a sample. This is exactly what it's going to look like. This is the stitch. It's a very pretty stitch. So we're just going to keep on doing it until you've got the towel, the length that you want it to be. So basically what I'm going to, like I say again, just show you how to read the pattern. So it's telling you to crochet 74 stitches and pull up from the hook and then do a return pass. So just to modify it, I did 30, and I actually did do the 70 on here. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you have this long with the 70. So then I'm just going to do the repass. So I'm doing the repass on it because that's what it says does. And I'm going to show you what the next part of the instruction says. So we just do exactly what it says. Crochet 74, chain 74, and then do your repass. Okay. The next instruction, it tells you row 2. It says Tunisian 2 together. That's just like a decreased stitch. It's actually telling you, it says here, so remember, we're learning how to read the pattern. When you see anything that says T, let me make sure I can read this right. 2 TOG, that's 2 stitches together. It's whenever you see that, that's a decrease. It's telling you to do 2 stitches together. So you're doing 2 Tunisian stitches and we're doing it together. So that's the first row that you're going to do. And this is what that looks like because you're going to make the pattern. This is what it looks like. 2 Tunisian. So you have your V's. Instead of that first one here, you're going to go 2 V's. You're going to pull up 2 V's. This is what I like to call it. I like to say pull up 2 V's together. So you're going to pull up 2 on the stitch on your hook, like so. Pull it through. And you're going to have 2 on your hook. Now, what you're going to do, you can still see the 2 V's you pulled up, the 2 stitches. Then you're going to take your hook back through the very first of that stitch. And you're going to go back through that, and you're going to pull up another yarn over and pull through. And you should have 3. And then you just go to the next one, next stitch, and you actually pull up. And then you do 2 again, 2 together, 2 Tunisian, 2 knit stitch, and you go through and pull it up. Okay, so that's what that is actually telling you to do. It's like a decrease. And then you do 1. and then you pull 2 together, do the 2. And like I said, again, I'm not showing you how to do the stitches, just how to read the pattern, because it's just going straight across, and you're just doing the same stitch all the way across. There's only one variation in this particular pattern, because this is what it's going to be the whole time. And the thing you have to just be careful when you're doing it is making sure that you're doing the 2 together stitches, which is decrease, and if you do the next one, it's just a regular Tunisian stitch. Okay, so it's a regular Tunisian stitch and then a decrease stitch, and that's what you're watching when you're doing the pattern. And I'll tell you something else that you need to do is to make sure you stay on track with the pattern. Okay, now here's a very important step when doing this. Is even with, like I said, with crochet. After I did I'm on row 2, Tunisian together, Tunisian first stitch across all the way to the last. Now I'm getting ready to do what we call the return pass. Before I do my return pass, because I knew I had chain 34 in here, I'm going to count. I count my stitches that's on here before I do my return pass, because if it's off, it's just going to make the whole pattern off. So I already counted, and there are 34. So now I'm ready to do the return pass, and this is what the return pass is. It's just, remember, it's always in that first one through that first hook, first chain, and then 2 through both stitches. So it's 2 from the very first one is just 1, and the rest of them all the way back is 2. And I like this the best part. I think the return pass is my favorite on this, because I just got to go through 2, and I don't have to do too much thinking when I'm doing the return pass, just as long as I'm grabbing through 2, which is pretty nice. It takes a minute to kind of get, used to doing a Tunisian. I will say that it takes a minute, but once you get the pattern going, and I've done a couple of them now, and I really like the Tunisian. I like the new stitch that it gives, and I think the thing I like the most is I only have to go in one direction for a pattern. When I get ready to come back, the second for the repass, it's just the same stitch. So it's not like I only got to, well, let's put it like this. I only got to think in one way. I ain't got to think 2 ways, because one way I'm thinking, another way I'm just coming on back. So that's a good one. Think one way, come on back. Think one way, come on back. It's not a 2-way street. It's just a one-way street, one-way thinking. That's what I like about it. It's just a one-way thinking. Don't have to be thinking, oh, how did this, because in crochet you go back and forth. I'm not knocking crochet. I love crochet. But this is, like I said, this is just something different, your next level up in the arena of crocheting. So one way thinking, one way back. One way thinking, one way back. One way thinking, one way back. Oh yeah, baby. One way thinking, one way back. So now we've done now we've completed row 2. So now we're going to do row 3. Row 3 is telling you to do a Tunisian in the very first stitch. Now we're back to the beginning. Last time at the beginning, we went through 2 stitches. This time we're just going to go, now this is always your beginning, so you're never going to ever go through that because you end up taking your stitch out. This time we're just going to go through 1 stitch first, then 2. Last time we went through 2 stitch, then 1. So this is really what the pattern, it all begins at the beginning. So this time we're on row 3. Row 3 is Tunisian 1 and then 2. Then 1 and 2. Okay, so when I say 1 and 2, that means toggle, the 2 toggle together. So I'm going to go through 1, the very first V I see on here. Go through that 1 time at the very first. Now I'm going to go through 2. My stitches are looking okay. Now I'm going to go through 2. I hope I didn't mess up that stitch there when I turned it up. But we'll see, because at the end, if I don't have 34 in here, I know I messed up. I dropped the stitch. And that's one thing I like it. So it's 2 here. And then remember, when we go through the 2, oops, I got a hook there. Okay, let me do this. When we go through the 2, when you put 2 on the hook and you go through both of them, you're going to come back and go back through that first one. That's where your pattern come in. That's where the pattern come in. And after I do that 1 time, then I go back through just a regular 1 V, then I go 2 V's and back under. Okay? And you do that all the way until the end. Okay, so I've gotten all the way to my end, so now I'm doing my return pass. Now here's where Tunisian, see this long cord where this come in at? As you can see, if you just had a regular hook, it'd be all bunched up. See with this, it actually goes down into this. And because this was only 34 for a sample reason, doing this one in 70 with 74 on there, it's going to come mostly down through this cord. And that's why you have a long cord for Tunisian. So now you do the repass. I said repass. I'm so, yup, we did. Now we're doing a repass. Nope, we're not dead yet. Now you do a return pass. I said a repass. Oh my goodness, oh we're dying over here. We're doing repasses and we stitching in the repass. Yeah, no, we're just doing a return pass. Okay, so you just go all the way back. And you just keep this pattern up. So it's just row 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Now what, I'm going to show you something, but I can't, when I'm doing my repass, I don't want to stop because I want to make, I keep saying repass when I'm doing my return. I don't want to stop because I want to get through, I don't want to miss pulling through 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up. But you do need a piece of paper to keep a count because all you're going to be doing after you finish this, then you go back to row 2. So you're going to be doing row 2, row 3, row 2, row 3, row 2, row 3, row 2, row 3, row 2, row 3. And that's what you're going to do until you get the length of the tea towel, which is just a hand towel that you like. Anybody say, oh, I can buy a towel. You certainly can buy a towel. But again, this is our hibernation. It's a good practice to get a stitch. And you can also make this like a nice scarf. Or they make real nice gift. Because like I said, when I was visiting my brother, I gave him one, and it was real nice to give. So they're nice, just some things that just keep easy handle, and it's a good learning thing. So it's always good to, like I say, keep that brain working, baby. Keep that brain working, because I'm telling you, when you learn something new, you ain't got time to be thinking about a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on. And I can tell you now that this winter, so far, it's been cold, so it's been pretty good. And so there. And you're not going to really, you can almost see the pattern, but once you get to probably the 5th or 3rd row, you can really see the whole pattern. So then you go back to row 2. Now, naturally, you're not going to finish up in one night. So you're going to want to get a piece of paper and do your count. Now, what I did, I actually always do a little cheat sheet on my little thing. So I know row 2, it was like go under the 2 V's, which is the same thing that's in the toggle, and then go backward to 1V and pull up, and then Tunisian. So that's how I always do my own abbreviation of what the pattern is actually called. But I will say this about the pattern. The pattern is good. The instructions are good. I like to do, like I say, when I see a pattern, I don't let the instructions, I don't let the fact that it may look too difficult. Like I said, I'm always going to do my sample, and my sample practice in the stitch is always going to be something simple like this, which I can always turn into a face rag, a towel, or anything. So, right. And I'm going to do that for it. And then before you know it, you have the next, you actually have something new that you've learned something new, and you have something new that you've made. So I hope you like this new skill. Okay, so just practice, and when you finish, I'm going to show you my finished product of this, and I hope to finish this in a week. It shouldn't take long to actually do this, so that's my goal. Okay, bye, see you next time, bye, see you next time, bye, see you next time.